The Silverstone ECU06 is a rather interesting product as it sits in between being useful and, well, being not. You see, this is an USB Type-C expansion card, meaning that it will add a single USB Type-C port to your system, even though a lot of newer motherboards have, or should have, this connector pre-installed. In this review, we shall see how useful such an expansion card truly is, and how easy is it to install and use. The Silverstone ECU06 is a simple device that is useful to an extent. You see, while many modern motherboards do offer the USB Type-C speed and connector, a lot of them do not, especially those that are cheaper or even mid-range. This expansion card aims to fix that and fix it forever with a simple installation procedure and no drivers or hassle involved. From a design perspective, there is nothing to talk about. This expansion card has its PCB exposed and that's that. One thing to know though is that when you use the Silverstone ECU06, you will have to deal with what has to be the brightest single color LED I have ever seen. And it's only blue, and as far as I can see, you cannot really turn it off. Usually I don't really care for LEDs, but this one really does take the cake. Before we talk about the installation, we can talk about the components used on the ECU06, and it's plenty to say. The highlight of this expansion card is the controller used. It's an ASMedia ASM3242, which bridges the PCIe Express interface to the USB 3.2 Type-C interface, with a speed of 20 GB per second. To filter the current on a hardware level, the expansion card is equipped with multiple onboard ceramic capacitors and a single solid polymer capacitor. This is a good thing to see, especially on such a device that is often made with the cheapest of components available for production cost savings. The only output port of this expansion card is a single USB Type-C port at the back, and that's it. The installation is easy, you just remove one of the PCIe covers and insert the ECU06, and that's it. No external connectors, no firmware to update, and no drivers to install, it just works. It also requires no external power sources such as a cable. For testing, I am going to use a Silicon Power P34 A80 1TB M.2 SSD installed inside the Silverstone MS12 SSD enclosure. This enclosure I've reviewed already and found out that not only it cools the SSD, but it performs great thanks to its ASMedia controller, which can deliver speeds upwards of 20 GB per second. In this case, the limitation will be down to one of these two devices, either the SSD enclosure or the expansion card. Fortunately, both can deliver the same 20 GB per second speed, however, the SSD can do much more than that. And as expected, the SSD speed was maxed out at 2 GB per second, which was to be expected. Nevertheless, this is a great result from just an expansion card and the evidence that using such a device will not severely limit your speed. The Silverstone ECU06 is a useful expansion card that offers a maximum transfer speed of 20 GB per second. It's easy to install and easy to use. However, it does have some limitations, mainly in terms of speed. As I've said, 2 GB per second is as much as you will get. Why would you need such a device though? It's simple. Many motherboards do not yet have the USB Type-C connector, while a lot of external SSDs and HDDs do use the new connector and new interface. In terms of pricing, the Silverstone ECU06 can be had right now for around $65 US, which is not cheap for just an expansion card, and you can get something that promises to do the same thing for less. However, those models do not have the same build quality as the Silverstone ECU06. Thanks to the higher build quality and better components, this expansion card should last you a long time, and as opposed to some unknown manufacturers, Silverstone will honor their warranty. If you like this review, then you might consider subscribing for more, and if you want to support me in a direct way, then in the description below you will find the links for both the Patreon and the Substar pages of this channel.